Hey guys, I am so completely pumped. I mean, when I say that, it's like, woo! I am here with my friend Amy. She also went to the same school that I went to for nutrition, and she is a goddamn powerhouse. And I'm going to tell you why, guys. I know Amy's like, what? But she just came out of school and she did not sit on the sideline. She didn't sit there going, what should I do, and sitting in overwhelm. She took action. She knew who she was in her soul. She knew her presence, especially locally. She had a brick and mortar, and I'll have Amy tell you a little about that. But her goal was like, damn girl, I got to go online. So I ended up meeting Amy and working with you. I had the pleasure of working with you one-on-one. And so I wanted her to come on today because, guys, truth bomb. I know it's going to hurt, but Biz Truth Bomb is, it doesn't always come out as easy as it appears when you are being told like, hey, go online. So easy. Go online. You'll make money, mailbox money, overnight money, passive income. It's a process, and I'm just deeply grateful for Amy to come here and share from such a truthful place what it took. So Amy, so happy.
I know, virtual hug. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. You know, I adore you and your work, and I'm so grateful for all that you've done for me, and I know all the other coaches are as well. So I'm thankful to be here.
So tell everyone, I mean, I've been like, okay, here, amy'sthebomb.com, but you are fitness. Tell us your certification so everyone kind of knows the background you're coming from.
Okay. So mostly fitness. I've been in the fitness industry for almost 20 years, helping women. I love it. I've taught, I think, almost everything that you could teach besides yoga. I'm too hyper, but by the time I'm 50, I'm going to teach yoga. I need to learn it, and I need to do it as a practice regularly. That's another story.
You and I, wait, that could be a whole nother, because you and I have even said we need this, but we're just not there yet. And I even said,
I'm too busy. Yeah.
I said, honey, don't laugh at me. I said, Scott, I may do yoga. And he was like, I'm like, I know, but goal setting phases. So anyway, okay. So tell us fitness instructor, brick and mortar.
Yes. So fitness instructor, I was running and managing a gym that was related with my husband's company, and love serving people in that capacity, love helping people. One of the things I did not love was the difficulties for going through management to institute new things that I wanted to do and that we needed to bring and change. And oh my goodness, it was so frustrating. And then how changes could happen that were out of my control, but I had to go back and tell all of our members. So also a big deal for me was being able to share the nutrition component along with fitness. I had seen women work out hard for so long. I'd watched it. I've lived in a lot of different states, taught different places, and it was the same thing until I could help them with their nutrition.
Yeah.
Then I could make an impact. So for me, I really did want to bring this integrative approach to health. But the brick and mortar was wearing me out, and I thought, oh, well, I'll just go online and be a coach. This is a great idea. We're out of town a lot. I'm tiptoeing into an empty nester. So we've got the freedom to just kind of go a little bit more. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll just take my computer. I'll go. No big deal. But man, I had no idea what it would require to start a virtual business, to be a health coach online or a trainer online. I had no idea what that process would involve or what the steps were. For crying out loud, Rachel, when I met you, and I bought one of your programs, I didn't even have Word on my computer. I've got
But you know what? This is what's so interesting, and this is why I'm so excited beyond belief to do this podcast, because you even had a business. I had a business in commercial real estate. I mean, that wasn't necessary. I wasn't even though I was in commercial real estate, we had programs where we fed in numbers. I wasn't like working like, Word to make it look nice. I wasn't creating templates. So we both have come from business backgrounds.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I think that's what's even so frustrating, is that we all, just like we were talking about before we started recording, like we were like, cool, of course I'm going to get hired. I mean, I've been through this journey. I know what I'm teaching. And then we get out, and even if it's not just building a business and wanting to run online programs, it's still like, how do I list build? Like, where are people finding me? What social media platforms? And then all of a sudden the head just explodes. Mm-hmm. So take us back. You buy a program and you're like, okay, what am I going to do? Where was that part?
So buying a program and really starting to understand that I had to narrow down my niche. I didn't know what a niche was. I didn't understand what a funnel was. I didn't even have an Instagram account. I mean, I was so, what do they call it when you're brand new? I can't remember. I was oh my word. So just learning all of that, how to build a funnel was the thing. I had never heard you've got to build a list. You kept saying, I watched your, things online, build a list. I'm like, what list? What are they talking about? I didn't even
the nightmare, like the nightmare of like Rachel, like build a list,
build a list. So I didn't understand. I mean, I truly didn't understand anything, but what I did understand was the importance of getting the message across to people that you have to eat well, you are what you eat, and you have to move your body, and we have to do it from a soulful level. We've got to take a mind, body, spirit approach to our health. So that I knew. I just had to learn so many things to get that out to an audience past myself and past my little warm market that I had. I had a little warm market. It wasn't huge. I was able to start with something small.
But I remember even back then, I remember you had a book club. So mm-hmm. It's not that you were like not online in some capacity supporting people. And I think this is the part that we all have to like take in, that these foundational parts of like, how do I list build? Because you did know what your purpose was, like I've said that from the moment that I talked to you. I was like, who you're meant to serve, but it's like really, especially in the online space, like how do you message that to people when they are going to they're going to become prospects and then become, buyers if they identify with something that you're saying. Right. So that process, remember, like, I want you to kind of talk about the social media, because where I saw that like lift off was when you started to be like, okay, I'm going to start talking about these different subjects. Mm-hmm. I'm going to also show my fitness, mm-hmm. And so take us kind of through that process, because that's where I feel like it's the beginning phase. And I feel like most coaches, I mean, and you can see, because coaches, you're in forums, it's like 0 to 100. They think they can be at like phase 5 before like really nourishing 0 to 1. They think they can launch, they think they can buy a program and launch and buy like somebody's system, but they haven't built trust. They haven't built authority. They haven't gotten seen and gotten known. So take me even back there, because that was when I was like, oh my God, we're getting there.
Well, I learned so much from you, first of all, Rachel. Just, I can't even remember how I found you. I think it was maybe through IIN or Googling with IIN or something like that. I can't remember. But I was so grateful for just meeting you. I think I did a free call, and then I started watching your YouTube videos and learning about funnel, learning about email lists, learning about niche. And that was all brand new to me. And it took a minute. It takes a minute. It takes a process to start to, okay, I know what I'm passionate about. I believe strongly about this. I know I'm called to do this, but how can I take this in a way and deliver it to my audience? And that is through trust building, like you're saying. That is through nurturing and giving wonderful content out to people so you can build trust. And then being there for them. And I remember at first you would say, well, what do your people want? I'm like, I don't have people. I don't know what they want. Like, I don't even have people. I got to get people. So, just even starting from that very beginning level of, oh my gosh, I've got to get people, number one. And then,
and that's the testing phase like that. So that's the part that I always forget is that when people are like, and I see this all the time, they're like, I'm not selling a program. I'm not selling this. No one's hiring me. And I'm like, because you have not discovered actually the pain points, what people really want. Because in the beginning, we might come from other businesses. Remember, I used to say to you, well, can you use this list? And you're like, no. And that's common for most of us. You couldn't use the list from the brick and mortar really to bring them online in a way. And so it was like really discovering in the online space.
Right.
Like, what are people driven by? How can they identify with you and set you apart from other people who are doing the same? And I think that's when you really found your spark. You were like, it was kind of stepping into like ownership. Like you felt confident already, but it was like, I can do this. I know how to take care of people. I'm going to show them what I really feel like, take them through a journey each week.
Yes. Yes. And that was one of the things that you share so much about pain points and finding your niche, finding the pain points, and how can you serve them? What can we bring them? Most of us are coaches. We know how to do that. And it was truly a process for me to learn how to speak that on social media, to learn how to be able to confidently come and on a Facebook Live or even my social media post and be able to deliver that message in a way that was filling that need, maybe giving that information. But this is interesting. It took me, I felt kind of slimy at first using the pain points. I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. In fact, I was resistant to it. But then there's an issue. Conversion.
Right. And not only that, I always say, like clients used to say to me, in the beginning of non-discovery call, I would say, well, what foods make you feel good? And they were like, I don't know. I feel horrible all the time. And I was like, they haven't connected the dot. So like as coaches, I feel like the biggest issue that happens is we're talking like here where all of us are now, like, okay, get up, let's do our meditation, let's this. And everyone's like over here, like, I have no time. I'm struggling. I'm addicted to sugar. I'm this. Don't talk to me about like taking time. So it's like, that's where the pain points.
That's right.
It's getting okay with being a feeler, an empath, a person who wants to help people, but also being okay with selling.
Yes.
Coming with conviction, which I remember you saying, like, you were like, okay, I'm a wife. I'm a mom. I have this, like many of us who have limited time, you're like, I'm going to have someone, help me with my social media post. And I remember the day that you were like, this isn't working for me. Like I have to write these. And even if somebody's helping, which we all outsource and get help as needed, but I would always say that person can't step inside my soul. So I would, and you just got to the point, you're like, it's easier for me to sit down and write 14 days and to have a clear vision. And so I think that's the part that people have to understand. You still have to step into your business. You still have to step in as the soul because you're the face of it. You're selling yourself, your journey, your vision for people, your vision for what they can be.
Yes. I completely agree with everything that you said. And that is so hard. So learning how to sell, learning how to deliver the message of a pain point, but you've got the answer. And for a lot of us health coaches, yes, we are like, oh, I won't have any artificial sweeteners. There's no processed food will ever touch my lips. I mean, we're there. Like we get that. But somebody that's starting out, like I only eat fast food. I'm not going there. Learning to bridge the gap. So how do we reach people in a message?
In the method. And
through our social media.
Yeah.
Yes, and that will impact them. That's what we want to do as a coach. We want to help them. So it has been a process for me. It has been interesting though to learn. I'm one of these. I don't want to reinvent the wheel. Like, no, I actually don't have a lot of time. Just like everybody watching this, nobody does.
Nobody has time. Let's just say that. Nobody has time.
Nobody has time. Yeah, we're all busy. You can all use that in every social media piece. Girl, I know you're busy. Yeah. Check.
I know you don't have time. This is why I'm creating Done For You content. I say that all the time. I still sit there and I think back to, like, no joke, being locked in a room for 2 months when I wrote my first program, when there was not Done For You content out there, and the 1 or 2 things that were, I was like, this is nothing I would sell. I didn't see my family. I was testing recipes like a nutcase, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I just sit there and think, who has time? No. Like, whether you're a caretaker, whether you have an autoimmune, whether you're a wife, a mom, a 9-to-5er, like, it's just learning how to, like, take content and, like, continuing to tell the story. And, like, just like we were talking earlier, repurpose it. Be smart about your business.
Yes.
And what it's going to take financially to start it up, not just fall for the FOMO of, like, oh my God, I've got to get that. It's a brand new, like, plug-in-ish thing that just came out. I don't even know what I'm going to use it, but I'm going to buy it.
Mm-mm. No, yeah. I mean, it's so easy to fall into chasing shiny objects. I mean, this is one of my things that I'm really trying to narrow down this year, is to simplify, to really build a solid foundation. In my work with you, I really learned that. Anytime I catch your Facebook Lives or watch, a webinar, if you don't have that foundation, you're not going to be able to really launch or scale your business ever. And so most health coaches, most of us fitness trainers, we don't step into this space with a business degree, and we've not been behind a computer. No one told me when I was stepping into this that I would go from moving all the time, which I love to move. I love movement. I just love it. That I would be in front of a screen.
Watch her videos on IG, because the girl literally will show you how to, like, bust a move on some booty work off a table, even wearing Christmas stockings. That's one of my favorites. But, like,
but sitting in front of a screen for 10 hours, that has been, for me, what it has taken, 8 to 10 hours in front of a screen. That's been a sacrifice getting started. But you have to lay your foundation. You've got to understand your business. You have to be able to speak in a way that's persuasive and that will sell and that will convert. And if your message isn't, if it's not converting, then maybe you need to tweak it. Maybe you need to change it. And I had to get to that point of, I didn't really want to use the whole pain point situation. I thought that was slimy. I just felt like it was, I don't know. I didn't feel like it was.
It's hard. It's hard to step over. It's hard when we're, I think, in the online space, especially in the online space, like, sitting there face to face next to somebody, it's like, girl, you got to do this. Like, totally trust me. And you feel that person. So it feels like this really just soulful interaction.
Right.
But, like, online, we're like, looking at a computer screen, we're like, I'm going to pretend I'm talking to 25 people right now, or my best friend. And you're just like, hey, so today, and that's I love that you keep saying this was learned. But what I have to say about you, which is why I was like, you have to be on this podcast, is during that process. And I love what you said about, like, it does take time in the beginning. Like, there are sacrifices.
Yes.
And I think that's the part I used to say, to have a sustainable, meaning you're making money all the time. Like, my Sundays were at a gym working, because I knew that gym, that karate studio, that MMA fighting studio were my bread and butter when the online space in the months go a little dry. Like, certain months are just not your sweet spots, but a gym does not go dry. A karate studio does not go dry. Brick and mortar do not have that. And I think, when we look at our business, and when I think of you, you invested that time. You pushed through like and I remember even talking to you like, I feel insane. But we all feel that.
Right.
Nobody talks about it. Everyone's just like, oh yeah, I bought a program or I created it. I put it in XYZ. I automated it and now I'm on the beach. And it's like, really, girl? Because how much did you pay the social media person with all your pre-marketing, your pre-buzz, or whatever? How much did you pay a virtual assistant or a launch manager to really get this?
Right.
Because when you're a solo entrepreneur, I think even when you outsource to people, you're outsourcing in an economical way because you don't necessarily have all the funds because you haven't made it yet.
Right. Well, and it's astronomical. When I thought, okay, well, I'm going to look into having somebody, and I did for a while, had somebody manage my social media. But I learned that I have better response for my people when it is me. My social media grew so much more when it was me. I had to learn to batch my content. I had to learn to utilize later and some different things and to think through a plan. I know. Yeah. A little shout out to later.
Put you in show notes.
Had to batch out and to think through, I try to take a month at a time and to write through what are my posts going to be. It's got to be congruent with when is my next launch? What am I trying to funnel people to? And if I'm not there yet, I need to still keep those pain points here and there, because the truth of the matter is people are hurting. I sell a service. I want them to come to me when they need some help with when they're ready to purchase. But at the same time, it's got to be engaging and all of this. Well, that takes time to learn. When I looked into, okay, if I were to invest in that, how much money would I pay if I were to spend and have this done? I couldn't afford it. I simply could not afford it. I'm not making money. Maybe one day I will, but what it forced me to do was to learn the process myself. I had to learn how to go into Canva and make, all of my little posts and all of the different things like that. Yeah. I'm not a graphic designer, but I had to kind of become one by default. I had to learn all of these different networks and different things on the computer and increase my skills. I heard, is it Brendon Burchard say, you have to reverse engineer. What do you want to do? And what skills do you need to learn along the way so you can get there? So I'm grateful I couldn't afford to have somebody do it all for me. It forced me to get into my business, learn the foundations, learn it. And so when I am at a place and I need to hire people, I'm going to be able to watch what they're doing and manage my business.
Know the time. Like I always say, the most successful entrepreneurs don't mind getting dirty. Of course, you're going to outsource things that are time wasters as time goes on. But I always think about friends of mine who owned restaurants. They're like, don't think that I have not been cleaning out the basement, cleaning out the fridges, a sous chef, a cash register, like every different part, because you have to know every aspect of your business.
Yes.
Because you know what? On launches, you know this, I know this. Somebody gets sick, somebody doesn't show up for the party when they were supposed to, and sometimes you just got, but no, this is what I love. Nobody talks about that. You got to sometimes be like, okay, I'm biting the bullet. Honey, I'm not coming out of the office for, 7 hours. Shit just hit the fan. Like, party's not going to stop.
That's right.
And I think that's the part that nobody gets. And
I agree.
When coaches say like, I want to have 5K, 10K months, and I say things like, so, did you post this social media? Did you wake up an hour? They were like, well, I had breakfast and then I had to go to this, yoga class. I'm not saying yoga is bad. But like, I had to go to this class, and, then I just then I had to pick up my child and the whole day went. I'm like, but you didn't time block your day then. That's not a priority. 10K sounds good.
Right.
You want to get to a 6-figure mark or more, but you didn't prioritize it. You didn't time block. You didn't theme your month. You didn't think about what is the goal this month. Everyone's overcomplicating it. Like it doesn't have to be a launch online. It can be offline. It can be
Yes.
wherever you can start and go, do I know 10 amazing women who would love to come to my house for $50 if I throw them a 7-day program, have some wine, some healthy mocktails, some hors d'oeuvres, and cook 2 meals? Hell yeah, you just made $500 with no automation known to man.
Totally. Listen, I am the queen of a beta. Look, do a beta test on everything that you do. Run it through a couple of times, and that will give you the feedback of, hey, this really hit, or no, that was too much work for the return that I'm going to receive from that. So beta test, figure it out yourself and persevere, push through. And how bad do you want it? It is overwhelming. One of the things I can totally recommend to anybody that's listening to this, most of us are coaches that step into this space, and we know what we bring to our people. We know the value that we can change their lives. Literally, we will change their lives if we can.
That's why it's so passionate, comes so much from. Yeah.
Right. So one of the things that was the best investment that I made, and again, I didn't have just money to throw away. It was absolutely an investment, was hiring Rachel one-on-one to help me launch. No, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. So if you've got people that are like, I'm stuck, just doing that process with her, she empowers you to learn the steps and do it. She's not just getting you ready for one launch. She's getting you prepared as a coach. So if you've got any listeners that are like, oh my goodness gracious, I'm so overwhelmed. I literally don't know what to do. If they're struggling, I did have people, and I was working a lot. So I needed that extra support. You can do it on your own by, reading your programs and watching all of your live streams and all of that. But I am such a believer that we all need a coach. The coach needs a coach. I just believe.
I mean, look, even, and I think about the launch process when people are like, oh, well, I'm not launching. I'm like, even just as a new coach, your website is a launch party.
Yeah.
Whether you do that offline and have little swag bags at a place, and you're kicking off with like, hey, join me for this free thing, and you're building a list, build the list, or you're doing it online, or you're doing kind of what you did, testing out like, okay, I'm doing this challenge. What worked, what didn't?
Right.
I think that's the part that coaches don't stay in. It's to stay in exactly what you said, to see the feedback, to see what works. And I remember I had even said, oh, well, why don't you do this program like this? And you said, my people, they need such simple, they don't even need a full recipe. They need like what you and I call old school fitness recipes. Like
the protein,
the veggies, throw that, put it together, shake that up, and you're out the door.
I live in Mississippi. We just got a Whole Foods. I look through some of these recipes. I'm like, kefir water. There's no kefir water here.
Even with that, what I see change, and I will say this just as like coaches, like what I'm seeing and what I know Amy has seen also just in the last few years, but in being in business for 20 years, like people are truly that much more busy these days. There's only so much that they can take in and apply. Because I think, just like you said earlier, we want to take them here, but it's like, I learned, especially for doing moms groups for 3+ years, working with college kids, with families, with everyone, very similar to you, all different types of people. There is really only so much that we can implement at a time, because change is scary.
Yes.
And I think I see coaches been like, why is my person not doing this? I'm like, they're scared.
And if you overwhelm them with too much, any of us, if we get to that place of overwhelm, which here's the thing, that was the thing I really believe, Rachel, that you empower women not to do. Being overwhelmed is a choice. Like you can stop it. Like you have the power to say, okay, this is what I can deal with today. This is what I can handle. This I cannot. Therefore, I'm not going to have guilt. I'm not going to have frustration. I'm not going to
have perfection syndrome, because that's when I say to coaches all the time, know your bandwidth. Some people are like, boom, they can go right on and they literally from watching tutorials can build out. Another person, I'm like, girl, just do Eventbrite. Like, it's okay. Do lead pages if you can. Like, it doesn't have to be, but work more on networking.
Yes.
Mastering your freaking message. Know different buyer avatars because you have them. It isn't just the niche. It isn't just the funnel. It isn't just the perfect webinar. It's like knowing the foundation. And that's, like I said, niche, your sub niche, the topics that people are most attracted. Right. Go and look at even your Facebook posts. What are things that just got people like interacting? Right. Interacting because somebody might have 150 likes on a post, but the question I always ask is, are they actually converting?
Yeah.
Or is it just like, oh my God, I love this post. Like, are they converting to get? And that is 100% what I know you have nailed and really developed.
Well, and we're all such a work in progress. And I think too, just to piggyback on what you just said about some people have the capability to look at something and springboard into action, and others might need to take it at a slower pace. There is no wrong or right way. There's definitely better ways, but as far as your pace, baby, it's your race, your pace. You go at what you're comfortable with, but don't sacrifice your family, your health, all in the name of it. It is a whirlwind that's so
it's a fine balance. Because it's just like one step over and you're like, oh my God, I have bags under my eyes. I feel crazy. I'm not sleeping. Like, and it's just reeling it back. And I've been in that place.
Yes.
What I learned, and I loved when you said this earlier, and then we were going to have you give a takeaway so you can go do your fabulous life, is that you really said like doing things with intention. I feel that coming out of that BS, like, this is too much, I'm so overwhelmed. It's like, well then, just like you said, it's a choice, but then take the time to plan your month.
Yes.
Take the time to know. And if you don't know what people want, ask some people. That's right. Tell people, hey, I've got 5 spots for free strategy sessions and you get this gift. Like, do market research, and don't just do it by emailing successful coaches and asking them. That guys is a little annoying.
Nobody has time for that.
And
successful coaches don't have time for that.
Like, you didn't have no time to begin with. Like, but you're not going to find out what you really need. You want to hear it from the mouth of people.
And what you just said, just so people, let me take it back from a newcomer standpoint. What she just said is ask your people, but when you put urgency on it, she just said, I have 5 spots available, which is not 25 spots, and you get a free gift. So, learning how to interact, that was so natural for Rachel to say, urgency, number 1, urgency, and you've got a free gift. For the rest of us that are starting out, I would have never thought, oh, give them 5.
I always say give a gift, because this is how I feel. Who doesn't love to shop at Marshall's? Who doesn't shop to love at Nordstrom on the Rack? Saks off the Fifth. You love it. You love when you are like, damn, I just got a deal. Come on. You're like, whoop, 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 saving for my favorite purse, like whatever. Or saving for like something for my business.
Absolutely.
People feel like, wow. And you stand out. You stand out and you separate yourself, because what? You're building trust. You're showing that you care. But you're also providing sales tactic with it.
And you might get an email.
Yeah. So just remember, guys, listen, list building authority, I mean, these are like the things I really heard, like, stay with it. Like, and also learn from what you just did. Don't throw out, my favorite line is, don't throw out the baby in the bathwater. If you did a challenge and you saw people weren't interacting, guess what? Throw a gift in. Hey, for everyone who posts this much, I'm going to give you a gift at the end of the day. Make them want to interact. They will interact. And then show them how amazing you are. Learn from what you do. And I always say, like, stay in your own lane. Don't compare. Stay focused.
That's right.
So what is if you can say one thing to the coach that is struggling, doesn't believe in themselves, you know, they're at that place, what would you say?
I would say to them, you stepped into this space for a reason. There was a reason that you have taken the steps to get here. Now that you're here, it's harder than you thought, and that's okay. But if you are called to this purpose, finish out this purpose, and you are strong enough, but figure out what you need to do. Build your foundation. Rachel will tell you exactly what you need to do, and listen to it. It's not complicated. It really is not complicated once you understand. You've just got to do it. And, you know, everywhere you go, you represent yourself. You are your brand. You're representing yourself. There's not one place I go that I don't have a business card ready to whip it.
Open your mouth. Just open your mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, I seem to have this, you know, little flyer in here with a recipe.
Yes.
Home run.
Yes. So constantly, you know, I think stepping into the space, if you're looking to go just boom online, that is something we all thought. It's not that, you know, any of us were stupid. We just didn't know. You don't know what you don't know, and that's okay. But stepping into it, it's a process. Build your foundation, build your funnels. If something's not working, test it, do it again, build an online community.
Oh, sorry.
No worries. build an online community, but build a community with the people that you do life with naturally already. Get creative. Look at people that are successful. What are they doing? Why is it working for them? Listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
So, and then stay in balance. Like, don't go cuckoo crazy over this and get your hormones out of whack because you're working, you know, 16 hours a day on all of this.
Time block. I just feel like everything can be time blocked. I mean,
my gosh, yes.
I built this business with babies on the floor. You built this business with kids moving around. You guys travel. I mean, everything. Everyone's got time deficiency.
Yes. Oh my goodness, do we ever? Yes.
Problem. And what you're just saying is like, make it a priority. Dedicate the time block it, and reach out for help if you're feeling like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and like getting the same results. But you think it's going to be different. You think it's going to be different. So I really would say like everything that you said today was freaking unbelievable. Can you tell everyone where they can find you?
Yes. So the name of my business is The Fit Soul by Amy Ramsey. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. I would love to connect with you. My latest project that Rachel helped me really define what my people wanted from me was fitness. So I do have an app that I'm so proud of. I went underground to get this app up and going. And I have a membership program. It's called the Fit Soul Tribe, and I have express workouts.
Let me know that, because I just said to Scott, I was like, seriously, when we're working out, because we do a workout, but I was like, I am literally going to ask Amy if she has like butt fitness things. I said, because her butt is just so super fine. I was like showing him, and he was like, no, that's a really good workout. And I was like, I'm literally only having like 30-second snippets on IG. Like, where the hell is this other stuff?
It's there. But you know what? My heart is for that busy woman. Yeah. And now, because I'm on a computer most of the time and my butt's sitting in a chair, I have to do these workouts. So they're just 20 to 30 minutes. I mean,
and also what entrepreneur who's not listening to this doesn't need to have that kind of accountability, to have these workouts when you're traveling, when you even have a few minutes and you're like, okay, I can get my squats done. And I've seen you now. I do my little wrap around with so I'm saying, girl, I'm a follower. And that's why, guys, I wanted to say to you, sometimes we think that nobody's watching us online, but then you have no idea the impact you're actually making for people's lives. You just need to consistently do it and don't quit.
Consistency is key. Yes. Oh my goodness.
So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, guys. I will see you next time. Stay tuned, and please check out Amy's work. Your butt, your body, your health, your soul will be happy. All right. I will see you on the next one. See you guys later, and I'll talk to you soon.